We got the January cattle inventory report, a report we've been waiting on because we didn't get anything mid-year in July. To break down what we see in the numbers, Brad Kooima joins us. He is with Kooima Kooima Varilek out of Sioux Center, Iowa. So initially, I mean, it hasn't been long. You looked at the report. Kind of what's your takeaway of what you see in the numbers?
Thanks for having me on. And it hasn't been long, and there's a lot of numbers. So I apologize to your and our faithful viewers here. I'll do my best here as we muddle through it. Often these reports, Susan, are sometimes more about the revisions than the actual numbers. I'm just going to lob that out there. So I'm going to do my best to, give you my thumbnail reaction to. There were some slight revisions, but let's start at the top of the page and start by saying I think the report's largely neutral, at least compared to the guesses here. All cattle and calves at 86.7 million. Okay, a year ago it was 87.2 million, down 1%, about like we expected it to be. The calf crop also down 1%, very close to the trade guess. There was a little bit of a revision here on this last year's calf crop. They actually revised it up about 203,000, so 1% less of a little bigger number than we thought. Maybe, but that shouldn't have been so surprising. We did kind of overkill what we thought the perceived supply was all year last year. I think I mentioned on your program that fed slaughter was only down 0.5% for the year of 2024. Slight though. I'm talking about 203,000 cattle revision. It's the day and a half kill. Okay, don't overreact to that. Okay, when I look at the next big number that we all talk about, of course, is the heifers for retention. And even though beef cows and all this other stuff's in here too, but to me, those are the three categories that are the big deal: all cattle, calf crop, and then the retention. Here's where we swung and missed. We thought we were holding heifers. We thought we had some indication of that on the last cattle and feed report. The guess was that we were definitely holding heifers, so we thought we were going to be up 1.5%. And it's not. Okay. Last time we had a report, the heifers, this is the hard number, which is where I'm trying to go so that it's easier to understand. The heifers held for retention was 4,858,300, 4,858 and change. Now 4,670,000 and change. Actually down about 1% instead of being up 1.5%. So we shall see what that means here. And when we get back here in the trenches on Monday, kind of a two-edged sword. It tells you got that still long-term, very, very friendly approach that we've been dealing with here for a long time. But if I wanted to, do the glass half empty for a change, and I usually want to be optimistic. That does mean it looks like we're going to have to feed a few more heifers here, this summer. So I don't know. All in all, I don't have anything about the report that makes me disappointed. I don't see anything that's terribly game-changing at all in the numbers. Dairy cows up a tick from what they thought. If you guys care about that, I doubt that you do, but they're up a tick. But otherwise, once again, they've done a decent job of guessing this one, and it comes in very close to the guesses with only some minor revisions out there.
So it will be interesting to take a little right at the fork, shall we say. It'll be interesting when you guys all get together down in Texas to talk about this numbers during NCBA coming up.
I'm looking forward to it. And then I'll have a little more time to get a little more granular look at this as well. And I don't think I've missed a great deal. You're talking about all cattle herd is 86,700,000, down 500,000. I mean, these are significant numbers yet, guys, even though they come on the guesses. Mm-hmm. It's amazing to me, and the calf crop's less. So, all those record-breaking news we had last year, we just broke them all again, So, smallest calf crop and blah, 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 smallest beef cow deal. So looking forward to it. After a day like today, I'm looking at myself in the screen here and I look super old. Today was a little whippy, tariffs are on, tariffs are off. Very frustrating. Let's hope we have a little less wildness here, right? For everyone's sake.
Sounds good, Brad. I appreciate you jumping on real quick. How do folks get a hold of you guys if they want to talk more about these numbers?
kkvtrading.com is our website. The phone number is 712-722-0023. So if anybody's down there in San Antonio, I hope I bump into each other in the hallways here next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much. Brad Kooima joining us this week as we look at this cattle inventory report. A quick reminder to everybody, commodity futures and options involve a substantial risk of loss, not suitable to all investors. And that's a look at the January cattle inventory report on the Rural Radio Network.